So, quick summary for those of you who haven't been following the newest, latest baseball scandal that we all have grown to wait for and love. It's substance being used by pitchers. Now, this has been going on since the beginning of time in baseball, whether it's been pine tar or some mix of rosin and pine tar and something that the pitchers use on their hands to get a better grip on the ball, and it increases their rotations per minute. Now, a few years back, Garrett Cole, Justin Verlander, Dallas Keuchel, Charlie Morton all went into Houston, and then they had the greatest seasons of their lives.
I thought it was the pitching coach.
Everyone did, and everyone, coincidence, everyone said, "Oh, I remember this distinctly. The Astros, man, they're ahead of it technology-wise." and then we saw how that aged. So the first thing is obviously they steal signs. They were certainly ahead of it technology-wise. You can't say you were wrong. And the second thing is that these pitchers, what they did was physically impossible. Increasing their rotations per minute by around 300 was impossible. But what they did it with was a use of a substance. Now, Bauer called them out. He went to the MLB. He stated it. MLB covered it up. They didn't want anything to do with this. In fact, most batters don't want anything to do with this because they'd rather the pitcher have better control so that they don't get hit in the head. Anyway, Bauer then goes out 2019, throws one inning. His RPM soars, goes back down. He used a substance for one inning to prove it was possible. MLB does nothing about it. Nothing's done. And then the next season, 2020, guess what? His RPM soars. His ERA drops by 2 points. He has the greatest season of his life. He is the Cy Young. He's going to a new team and signing the biggest contract he will ever sign. And it's because he is using a substance. And now, with all the news coming out, with literally Bauer going out and getting scientists to make a great substance, the MLB is cracking down. And we saw this with the firing of the Angels staff, who was apparently giving substance to Verlander, to Cole, to all these guys, away pitchers when they'd meet up with him. He sued the MLB because he was saying he was the scapegoat. All this is going crazy. Should the MLB be cracking down on this? Should this be made illegal? Will all these great pitchers lose their stuff? Give me your thoughts.
Well, I think we had this conversation earlier, and I said the MLB shouldn't crack down. I've since changed my opinion because I'm a hitter. I play baseball and I hit, and I really don't like the idea of, even if I don't get past high school, of pitchers being able to have so much of an advantage over hitters. And I mean, I don't know. This next thing is we're corking bats. We're finding a way to make wood bats better. I don't know. Scientists can do impressive things. So the MLB needs to crack down on this. Anybody who uses substance, just suspend them. At this point, I know we're going to see a drop-off in great pitching, but I do think if we were to do a poll, and you know what? I'm going to do a poll on our Instagram. Would you rather see a hitter's fiesta or a pitcher's duel? I think, personally, I would rather see a hitter's fiesta than a pitcher's duel.
100%. And let me ask you this. You say, because that was interesting, you said suspend him. You said toss him out of here. We don't care. But everyone is doing it. I mean, there has to be, the majority of pitchers in the MLB are using substance. So what do you think? You crack down, you suspend a few top guys, you give it a few months, and then you check back in on it?
I think it's worth a try. The fact that so many guys are doing it and it's hard to catch them is going to make this so hard. But there is a formula you can go about doing it. Look at rotations per minute. Has a pitcher had a jump in rotations per minute? Next time they go on the mound, go check their neck, their fingers, their hat, everything. I don't know where they hide this stuff, but it's obviously very good. So go check it, try and catch them out. If you start catching more guys, I think they're going to fall into line, except Bauer. Who knows with him?
Yeah, I mean, for all we know, he could come out on a horse the next day. He's absolutely insane. But here's the issue. Your Cy Young winner openly admits to it. Your star pitcher for the biggest team in baseball in terms of just history and franchise, Garrett Cole, who just signed the biggest contract of a pitcher in baseball history, uses it. Your star pitcher for the Houston Astros, division winners, World Series winners, Verlander, face of pitching for a while, uses it. How can you even tangle this? I mean, it's like saying we're gonna crack down on batters using steroids, and every single batter that leads in every single category uses steroids. Your MVP uses steroids. Your batting title uses steroids. Your home run leader uses steroids. How can you possibly go about this?
Look, I don't think the MLB is going to do this necessarily, but I think it's a reason. Like, I don't think it's reasonable either, but I think it's something that could be thrown out there as a threat to the pitchers. Look, we're going to let the hitters use corked bats if you don't stop. Like, something along those lines of you have an advantage that you never had before, or you shouldn't have against the rules of baseball. Well, let's give the hitters an advantage that is against the rules of baseball. Or let's openly admit we're screwing with the baseball to allow more home runs and just do it a little bit more. I mean, that's the only possible route to catch everybody, I guess. But it's not going to happen. I want the MLB to crack down. I do believe they're going to fail. I do believe that Bauer is just going to keep on winning on his great horse that he's going to bring out on the field next time.
See, here's my thoughts. The MLB and whatever his name is, who's the commissioner?
Robert, right? And his new advisor, Ken Griffey Jr.
Right. The MLB and glorious Rob Manfred has continuously botched situation after situation in the past few years, and they are on the brink of doing it again because they have said, oh, we know it's going on and we're sweeping it under. We are covering it up. We're covering it up. And then it breaks free and the public goes, wait a minute, all these pitchers are cheating. What's this about? And now the MLB says, oh, hey, every baseball team, we're going to start cracking down on this. And then they do a show by firing somebody who's known for it. They fired him when he's just, sure, he's providing some of the substance, but it's not like he's the only guy cooking up millions of batches of this stuff for the entire MLB. I mean, people get it from different sources. Anyway, they fire him, and they're like, oh, we fixed it. We dealt with the problem. And now it's back to normal. And it's so blatantly obvious. I mean, I watched a video today showing that when Mike Fiers threw his no-hitter, every time he touched his glove to apply pine tar to his hand. I mean, it's so blatantly obvious, and the MLB is so clearly trying to just do this to be like, oh no, we're on the right side here. And then they're clearly just trying to preserve the last moral aspects they have. I think it's already failed.
I think so too. I think it failed when they didn't start immediately. I think it failed when they just didn't catch any pitchers. I mean, the last time I remember somebody getting tossed, I love this example because he played for the Yankees, Michael Pineda. I love it so much. But that's the last time I can remember somebody getting tossed for pine tar. And I know it's happened more recently, but it rarely happens. And Pineda had it on his neck, which just made no sense to me. And so they haven't done a good job. They botched it from the beginning, which the MLB is really good at. And right now, pitchers have an extreme advantage. They want to make baseball more interesting. They need to let the hitters be the ones winning the battle most of the time so that we see more runs scored. That's how you pique interest in baseball. And they failed, really, at doing that. So unless they do something amazing in cracking down on this whole thing is going to run rampant in the major leagues. Because if they don't get it under control and it's gone public, every single pitcher in Major League Baseball is going to do it, and every single hitter is going to have a lot tougher of a job hitting them.
Yeah, and you mentioned Michael Pineda, and the only reason he got ejected was because it was too obvious. The whole world, every baseball fan started tweeting about how, look at this. Michael Pineda clearly has a substance on his neck. Look. And I guarantee you, was it against the Red Sox, right?
I think it might have been, actually.
I guarantee you there was a call from Rob Manfred down to the bullpen phone or the phone in the dugout to the Red Sox manager saying, listen, you got to go out there and get him tossed because otherwise it looks like we're just blatantly ignoring it. Like, and then he probably said back, I don't want him tossed. My pitcher's doing the same thing. I mean,
I think that's probably the conversation. I think you're right.
It's like, it's absolutely ridiculous. And It's just out of control. And now let me ask you this, because I've heard time and again that hitters are totally fine with this because the pitchers have more control. Do you buy this? I do you buy this for real? For
No, no, no,
me,
no, 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 no.
it
These
doesn't make
are
any
major league
sense.
pitchers. If you pitch in the major leagues, you throw 100 miles per hour, and there's a strike zone you're supposed to throw it into. And I understand you're going to hit guys. And I'm sure Bauer hit somebody last year, or maybe he didn't, but he's hit somebody in his career. Cole has hit somebody in his career. It's going to happen, and it's going to hurt. But I'm sure the hitters, they hate it more when they throw a curveball that starts at your head and ends up in the top left corner of the zone, and you're just not able to hit it. So I'm not buying it from the hitters. I think they hate it, and I would hate it too, because everybody can hit a fastball in the major leagues, but you're not hitting this curve that nobody can touch.
Yeah, to me it just doesn't make sense. Maybe one hitter said that, but for me it's like, listen, this is messing with your career stats. This is messing with how well you are perceived as a hitter. And you want the pitcher to have more control? Why would you even want the pitcher to have more control? I mean, I've been up at bat. I haven't played baseball in a while, but I know I get the aspect of going up at bat against somebody who throws hard. And you being like, I really hope he's accurate because I'm not trying to die here. I get that. I do understand that. But these are major league pitchers. For me, if substance is taken out of the game, I highly disbelieve that you're going to see the increase in hit batters soar up. And I think nobody realistically thinks that's going to happen. So when this rumor about hitters saying, yeah, we're fine with it, show me the actual hitter who said that. Show me the actual multiple people who are going around saying that, yeah, we're totally fine with these guys throwing faster and their curveballs uh, dropping out of the zone more and us striking out 50% more. Show me the hitters who are okay with that, because that makes absolutely no sense. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, it doesn't. And I mean, I've started to get in a level of high school where these guys throw hard. I mean, 85 miles per hour plus. And the one thing I know is as long as it's in the zone, I'm perfectly fine with it. I do believe that pine tar helps with that. But look, also, if I get hit by the pitch, it's going to hurt, but I'm also going to go to first base. And the hitters should be fine with that, as long as they don't like break something in their arm or something. And since hit by pitches isn't going to soar, I don't understand that fear at all. And so, yeah, I just don't understand where the hitters are coming from with this if somebody did actually say that.
Yeah, but the MLB won't do anything about it. Bauer will sign for a huge $1 million deal. And when it happens, maybe it's the day before spring training. Maybe it's at the end of next season. Who knows with Trevor Bauer. When it happens, we will be covering it.